Welcome to the Contractor Training module of iVerifyInsurance.com. In this module, you will learn how to add your policies into the network, how to handle your subcontractors, to track your projects, handle the various alerts that you will receive throughout the system, as well as how to advertise and be found on iVerify. The first thing you will need to do is to log in to https iVerifyInsurance.com. Here we are at the main screen. To add insurance that you have purchased and want in the network, go to Manage Insurance. On the left, you will see 4 main types of insurance. Select the type of insurance that you are adding into the network. If you would like to add a new policy, click on Add Liability. In here, give your policy a name such as Primary Liability, Excess Liability, General Liability. And then in the Agency Name area, start typing in your agency name. If your agency is in the network, you simply select the name from the drop-down box and it will fill in all of the information. When you submit the request, your agency will then receive it as pending, and they will be able to fill in the information for you. That policy will then become available on the network. However, if your agency is not in the system, you simply click on Ask Agent to Join. This will bring you into an area where you can ask the agent to join iVerify. Type in the agent's name and their email address. Once you have completed that, hit Send. That will send them the email that you see below, asking them to join iVerify and giving them the benefits of the system. However, if for some strange reason your agency has decided not to join iVerify, you simply click on Agent Refusal to help. In here, put in their company name, the agent's name, the city, the state, the zip, and their contact information of email and phone number, and hit Send. iVerify will then contact your agency. Let them know about all the wonderful benefits of joining iVerify Insurance. If they are still reluctant to join the network, iVerify will help you find a local agent in your area to assist you. Now let's see how to handle your insurance. You've already put the request in to the agency. Once your agency has sent it back and everything is good, now you can set up requirements for the people that you are working with. There are 2 different types of requirements, standard requirements and special requirements. To set up your own standard requirements, click on My Requirements. In here, once again, you click on the main type of coverage. Once you have done that and you have a type that you would like to add, click on Add. Give it a particular name, such as Work Comp. In here, you will load in your limit requirements and any specific endorsements that are pretty standard on a workers' compensation policy. Then click Submit. Once you have created all of your various different requirements in your system, you click on the heading of My Requirements. All of your underlying requirements have been listed. Now you can set these requirements up for all of your subcontractors and other contractors that you are working with. This is what allows the system to match your insurance requirements with theirs. In here, we have framing us as a subcontractor that has given you viewing rights. Under the liability, we've already sent them a request for our excess liability. And as you can see, framing us has already received that. Now, if you have multiple subcontractors, you can ask of your liability policy of this particular requirement of all of your subcontractors, or only a single subcontractor. That will send an alert and notification to them that a requirement has been requested. The system then will match them up, and if they match, the information will come back just fine. If they do not match, you will receive an alert that lets you know that they did not match, and you will have the ability to either accept or deny the coverage as their coverage stands. Now, if you have any special requirements, click on Special Requirements, such as maybe an additional insured or an additional piece of a contract they may need to agree to. Once again, on the left-hand side, click on the general type of coverage that it is. Click on Add. The type of insurance you would like to name this requirement. You put in the type of insurance that you are looking for, and then give your requirement its own particular name. Each coverage type can have multiple requirements. If you have a contract, we highly recommend that you upload it here in a PDF format. You click on Choose File, browse to where your PDF file is, and then you will upload it here. However, if there is no PDF file and it's just a simple description, you can type in the text here. Once you have created that special insurance requirement, click Submit. Now that will be available in your system, and you will have the ability to require that of either a single subcontractor or multiple subcontractors, all of your subcontractors at that point. And the way to do that is we click on My Special Requirements. Now here's the other for the auto liability that we created. Click that and you will see it. Now in here, this is where we get the ability to ask either a single contractor or all of your subs. If you're asking a single subcontractor, you will get a drop-down box of all subcontractors that have given you viewing rights. Click the one or ones that you would like and click Select. That will then send a request to Framing R Us, and they can then take a look at that in their alerts and accept it or deny it. It might be something that their insurance agent has to approve, and at that point they can forward it to their agent for acceptance or denial, particularly when an endorsement is required. The agent may need that. Now what about those things at the flip side? If you are the receiver of particular requirements, either standard or special, let's see what that looks like on that side. Requirements to me. Now here are a couple that were brought in to you. Here's one under liability, and they just called it liability insurance. Framing R Us has their standard liability requirements of $1 million and particular coverages, as well as a couple of different endorsements that they require. Those have been made as requirements to you, and the system will match whether your policy has these requirements, if it meets it, exceeds it, or does not. If there are any special requirements made to you, you will see those here as well. You can see the status of these ones that have already been handled by Framing R Us. Framing R Us wanted a blanket additional insured on your liability policy. Well, that's something that needs to be endorsed, and the agency handling that is a general contractor agency. Well, they've accepted it, as well as a Project 5 insurance requirement. That's been accepted as well. If they had been denied or rescinded, you would get the ability here to either ignore this request or waive the requirement for that particular general contractor or subcontractor. If you would like to see a list of all of your contractors, click on My Contractors. Here will be a listing of all of your contractors or subcontractors and all of the coverages that they have. If you would like to look at a particular subcontractor and their specific insurance, hit the arrow by the contractor to find the types of insurance they have, and then click on the type of insurance you are interested in looking at. If you have any questions of the policy, remember the agent's contact information is in the lower right-hand side of the screen. You can contact them for assistance. Now that we have set up our requirements and assigned them to the subs, how do we see the folks who are not in compliance with their requirements? At the top of the screen is a section called My Page. That's where you get to go to find out if something worked or didn't work. In here you will find the companies that are out of compliance. This will give you the opportunity to see exactly what you stated as being required, what they actually have, and have the ability to ignore that particular request. So in here, under Framing R Us, the General Liability section, we've requested operations liability exposure, and we've said that's required. They didn't have that one checked. So the system came back and says, no, they don't have it. If that's okay for you, you can click on Ignore and then Submit. That will take that then out of your out of compliance. You can go through any of the system ones that found that they're out of compliance and either ignore them or get back to your subcontractor or contractor to see if we are going to be able to work together. If you'd like to see what they're out of compliance on, you can see the ones that have already been ignored. Well, if things have changed and now you need to unignore them, you can click it here and then submit. And that will go back and let them know that we're still out of compliance here. And we need to make sure that we are in compliance, and so the system will check that. Any policies that have been canceled, there's a real important one. Keep in mind, certificates of insurance are only good the day that they're printed. In iVerify Insurance, when a cancellation date is put into the system by the insurance agency, you will be notified as one of the contractors with viewing rights. So here we are in a canceled policy for the excess liability for Framing R Us. Now, as you can see, that date has passed, so you can simply hit Dismiss Alert and then hit Submit. That will take it out of your alerts. Rescinded or denied. The status on some of those alerts can be changed to they either rescinded something that was accepted or they've denied something, and you need to know about that. So here we are in one of our test requirements on one of the special requirements that we have set up, and unfortunately the insurance carrier has rescinded that request. If that is okay, you simply click Dismiss Alert and Submit, and that will come out of there. If that's not okay, you can either go back to the insurance company or your subcontractor and make sure that they're in compliance with whatever it is that you need them to do. We also have a thing called the Viewing Center. The Viewing Center shows you who is granting or requesting viewing. Here's where you can accept or deny for your company. As we were sending out those pending requests earlier from the Manage Insurance, this is where they will show up for your contractors and subcontractors, and this is where they'll show up for you. Even though somebody may have closed off your viewing rights, you will still be able to run reports and see them. For you to request viewing rights of your subcontractors, go to the Requesting Center. In the Requesting Center, you put in the contractor's name, the city, state, zip, anything that you happen to know about them, and hit search. It will search all of the contractors in the system so that you can send a request for viewing rights to their insurance. Here are a couple of pending view requests that we've already sent out. For Eric Electric and Pete's Plumbing, we're waiting on their requests to come back to allow us to view their coverages and let the system start matching. When policies expire, the contractor has to go back in, recreate a policy, and submit it to the insurance agency so that the insurance agency can once again fill it in. Now, when your policies are about to expire, this system will show any of your subcontractors' policies that will be expiring in the next 90 days. So you should have plenty of time to contact them to make sure that their policies get renewed and there's no problem with the projects. Speaking of the projects, there's a tab at the very bottom called Projects. This is where you can set up and track various projects that you are working on. Let's show you how now. Add a project. In here, give your project a name, a start date, and an end date if there is one. Who's going to be the primary contact on this project, and their address, their zip code. Down below, you will assign all subcontractors to the project. That way, you can run reports and you can track all of the things that are happening with all of your subcontractors that are working on this particular project. So you would click on any subcontractors that would be part of this project and hit Submit. Now they are viewable and trackable. Any projects that you have set up and have completed and would like to get rid of those, you can simply check the project under your project list and hit Delete Checked Projects. Those will take them out of the system when they have been completed, or if you put one in on accident.